Tell me it's an Unreal Engine game without telling me it's an Unreal Engine game. Go ahead, I'll wait. Actually, no, I won't. You don't need to. Just show me Redfall. It's an Unreal Engine game, folks, just like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Survivor Order, which came out just a couple of days ago and had some of the same hideous issues that is here in Redfall. Now, granted, they are not anywhere near as bad as Star Wars Jedi Fallen Survivor Order, but still, there are hitches that come up here from shader compilation that are definitely recreatable, and they happen to everyone, which is evident as I did some side-by-side testing with a buddy of mine on a 12900K, and we could see these hitches happening pretty much simultaneously, and I'll run a side-by-side for you of that later in the video. And the game is also extremely CPU limited, pretty much on any processor that you're running, but if you're on a slower processor, as is evident from the side-by-side comparison, the older the processor, the more and more CPU bound you're going to be, because Unreal Engine 4 games like to, for whatever reason, just run on like 2 cores up at like 70-80% and just barely tickle the taint of the rest of all of your beautiful cores and threads that you spent so much of your hard-earned money on. And that is the unfortunate case here with Redfall, which otherwise is a very fun game. Had an absolute blast playing this for a couple of hours on Sunday afternoon. Thanks to NVIDIA for getting early access to the game for me and my buddy Kurt, so we can get on there and try out the co-op and do some comparison testing with my 9900K and his 12900K. Both of us have RTX 4090 Founders Edition cards, so that makes the comparing, pretty straightforward from there, honestly. We just have different Intel processors. And yeah, he was doing considerably better, getting anywhere from 20 to 30 frames more than me, just having those faster cores, even though the game is still not scaling very well for him, even on a 12900K. So this game has a lot of those performance issues from shader compilation issues and stutters and hitches, but overall, it was still a much smoother experience than the recent Star Wars debacle from Electronic Arts and Respawn. And I think a lot of that is because, the art style and everything sort of lends itself to not being that graphically demanding. So apart from the hitches, when you're not getting them, at least in this game, you're still getting, you could still be getting a pretty high frame rate, especially if you throw in something like DLSS, FSR, XESS, frame generation, technologies, all of which this game has and can help to boost frame rates, which aren't necessarily even needed. I didn't really find the need to use them, although they are certainly beneficial if you want to get up to 144 frames per second, at least, well, for me, playing at 4K on 4090 and everything. So the technology's there, which I can't say for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Survivor Order. That game did not have like any additional technology apart from FSR, and a terrible implementation of it at that. Now, usually at this point, I like to jump into the graphics options, and we are going to do that here, but there was a recent update over the weekend for Redfall, and now the servers are down, so because it's an always online game, this is also, I guess, part of the port report views. This is an always online game, folks, and this is a caveat of having an always online game. Right now, during the review period, the servers have gone down, and this could happen again, once you own the game, and even if you want to play by yourself, you won't be able to. I can't even get into the menus right now to show you the graphics options because the servers are down, even though I just want to get into the menu. I need online servers to access the menu, which is, I don't know, a little bit ludicrous to me. Thankfully, I have screenshots of the graphics options menu, so I'm going to go over those with you so you can at least get an idea of what's in there, but I won't be able to interact with everything like I usually do. So here I am in my photo editor, and you can see I was running at 4K here, VSync on and off. I switch it time to time, it doesn't really matter. We've got an FOV slider, which I cannot recall what it goes up to or the floor level on that. Again, I wish I could get into the options menu to show you, but it defaulted to 90, and that's what I used. And there's a slider here, and it's a pretty decent range, so just be aware that it's there. We also have a motion blur scale, which you can adjust if you want to. We have HDR support, and you can calibrate the display, and then there's an overall quality of epic, and they also have like low, medium. I believe there's high, ultra, and then epic, or it just might go high to epic. Again, I wish I could get on the game, but I can't because the servers are down. So that's awesome. And as you can see here again on epic, and then under that we have some advanced options for upscaling. Now in this option right here, I'm on DLSS, but there is also FSR 2.0, Intel XeSS, as well as DLSS, or you can toggle it off completely. Now, if you want to use DLAA, which is what I was using as my anti-aliasing solution, because that's not down, like, it's not lowering the resolution of the game. DLAA actually makes the game look better without having to lower the resolution or anything like DLSS would. But to use that, you have to have DLSS turned on. But so once this option is on, you can basically use the standard options in here of quality, performance, balanced, or ultra performance, or DLAA. So I'm using DLAA as my form of anti-aliasing, but you have to have the upscaling set to DLSS for this to be able to work. So I hope that makes sense. I'm still playing at 4K native. It's just using deep learning anti-aliasing and not the super sampling portion of it. And also frame generation is off, although in the side-by-side portion of this, you will see some frame generation testing. It does help out immensely, but you can feel some latency there as this game has some mouth smoothing issues too, which is certainly a problem with the PC port, and you can see NVIDIA Reflex low latency. Now, on the overall quality settings, if you set this all the way, like I said, there's a low, medium, high, ultra, whatever, epic. If you set it to custom, it will bring up a larger, more advanced menu, which I did not find to be incredibly intuitive, but it's there. So if you set it to custom, you'll get all of these other options here, which you can see are just defaulting to Epic anyway, so not really a ton of information there. It doesn't tell us, you know, what type of impact this is having on our hardware, VRAM. It's not giving any examples in the right pane of the background to show what these options do, or give any descriptors, you know, in more detail as to what they're actually adjusting and having an impact on. So pretty bare bones options menu, but I'm not really expecting too much more. It's actually pretty similar to the one on Star Wars. Different art style, sure, but the options and everything are all just pretty much status quo from Unreal Engine 4. We've got effects quality, foliage quality, post-processing, shading, shadows, textures, and view distance. This is all straight out of Unreal Engine 4 with zero bells and whistles or any sort of tweaks or anything, really advanced options for us to really be able to adjust apart from upscaling stuff and frame generation, which at least this game does have. Can't say the same thing about Star Wars. Starry. That's the new Sierra Mist. Apparently that's something that changed. Who the fuck knew that? All right, so that's the graphics options menu out of the way, and you guys have already heard me talk about performance and shown you some stuff. I'm going to show you a few-minute clip here of some side-by-side footage that I captured between me and my buddy Kurt on my 900K as well as his 12900K. So a little bit different of setups, but we're both running RTX 4090 Founders Edition, and this will give you a better idea, I think, of the CPU scaling in our conversation in real time, reflecting our experience on not just the CPU scaling in Unreal Engine 4, but also you'll see how we get frame hitches at pretty much the same exact times when we are walking throughout the game world as assets are loading in. You could pretty much time them within a second of each other based on, you know, maybe the guy was a step behind or something. That's pretty much what it came down to. Is otherwise they were pretty much lock in step at the same exact places. So here you go. All right. Now,
I can't read English because it's quite a big display.
All right, so you're getting, all right, so what are you getting frame rate wise?
95.
I'm getting 65% GPU usage.
I'm like 78 to 80% GPU.
Yeah, so you're just getting a lot more headroom there because of the faster cores. What's your CPU usage at?
The overall usage is 26%.
I'm 35. So it's just like the more that my CPU works is like the more frames that you get, kind of. Double. Yep. And this is a pretty good CPU-ish area. This is pretty CPU heavy. But then there was other areas that were just more GPU bound. It's just going to depend on this game because it's Unreal. It's quite unreal that they can't get it optimized better. I've got one core at like 73%. But most of the other ones are scaling, but there's like two that just kind of get singled out and go like 70%, you know?
I've got two at 85%, one at 70%, and the other ones I've got various like 20%.
Yeah. All right, now let's go into the options and go to settings, go to video, and let's go ahead and go switch from DLAA to, shit, where is it? I went off of it. DLSS to quality and then frame gen on. So we'll do that, and then just go back out. But don't move your mouse or anything. Keep it right where you're at.
I can see.
So now I'm getting a locked 144. What are you getting?
Yeah, it'll be locked 144, so 142 because I'll do it 2 frames under.
Yeah, you got it 2 frames under. And then what's your usage for that?
79%.
And I'm 80. Yeah, so we're both at like basically the same usage to get to the. That makes sense, GPU usage wise. We're arriving at the same frame rate, and our GPUs are being used the same because it's the same GPU. The only difference is our CPU's usage, which is mine is at 38%.
Mine's at 23.
Yeah, yours hasn't changed because it's just doing more with the GPU now. That is the essentially, if other than the DLSS, it really shouldn't change the utilization at all because it's doing it all on the back end with deep learning, you know.
Yep.
So really, nothing should move other than from the DLSS part, not the frame gen, the upscaling. All right, let's go ahead and move over ahead of us.
Bearing in mind we got frame gen on, so we're not going to get any much different of frame rates.
All right, fair enough. So let's go ahead and whack that off. And we'll switch it back to DLAA.
Yep.
Frame gen is off. The latency is on plus boost. Now I'm at 110 frames standing here. 113.
GPU usage has gone up 96%.
Yeah, just standing here I'm getting like 80%, and then if I turn to look at you it drops down to like 70% because it's getting that and then even if you look back more, just go ahead and turn your shoulder over into the city. It drops down massively as soon as you look into the city, but when you look down the road it's going more GPU because of the less objects for the CPU and all that. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll just walk it on 1. So we'll just go 3, 2, and then as soon as I say 1, go, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 3, 2, 1. And we're walking. We were just 2 chaps, and there was a stutter there. We were just 2 chaps having a stroll.
Visually, anyway, I'll see it on the frame time.
Yeah, I kind of felt it a little bit, and I did see it on the frame times. I'm gonna go ahead and turn right here. Just continue on the line, though. Yeah, I see you right next to me. We've got the same shotgun out. Yeah, if you see yourself kind of fall behind, I guess just sprint up a little bit. Hitch there?
Yeah.
Yep, hitch there. Got you right next to me.
105 FPS.
I'm hovering pretty much right around 85 FPS for me. 80 to 85, but I'm at like 70% GPU. I'm hoping this will loop right back around and maybe take us right towards the city.
This will go into the city, I think. Yeah.
And I'm guessing once when you unlock cities or clear certain areas, that red stuff on the ground will go away. The Redfall, as you might call it. You are too far ahead. All right. Oh, big stutter there. Oh yeah, I saw the red stuff on the ground far ahead down by the looks like maybe a service station, but it disappeared from me.
Yeah, it's gone again.
Let's come up, walk down here to this traffic light, and we'll turn the corner. Let's see what it does. Yeah, it's a service station. And there's no red stuff here. I thought it was maybe...
Yeah, it was there, and now it's gone.
I thought it was draw distance, and it just maybe glitched out, but no. So a little bit of a different presentation there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know if you want to see more of those in the future, and we can get them dialed in a little bit more. We'll, maybe if we do more of them in the future, we'll match up the, the art style and the overlays and things like that. And also, it'll be interesting to compare more in the future as I switch over to my Ryzen rig, and he's got an Intel rig. We could do some Ryzen Intel comparisons there, and I'm also going to be doing a... probably uploading like an hour plus video of us just sort of like playing together with benchmark overlays and stuff for people that want to enjoy that, sort of like almost like a live stream, but not live, and just sort of us playing, having a good time and enjoying Redfall, because at the end of the day, we did enjoy our time playing Redfall. For all of its pitfalls of having some issues with mouse acceleration, which I eventually did just get used to, I think, over time, as well as, the shader compilation issues and the stutters and hitches there, and the pretty simplistic and bare bones menu, and the not particularly amazing graphics of the game. I mean, the art style is what it is from Arcane. They kind of have that oil painting look where they just have really found one texture they like, and they have decided to stick with it. Like, for all that it's worth, from one game to the next, they're sticking with that one texture, man, and they're just locking step, bro. They're just like, fucking oil paintings, let's go! Fucking oil paintings, yeah! They're just hardcore bros for oil paintings over at Arcane Studios, man. Let me tell you, they are into it. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And Redfall, which will be launching later tonight or, tomorrow morning, early sometime. I don't know. Reviews will be going out at 8 p.m. Eastern time, though. So hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time for another video. Peace.